Welcome to Dinar Daily Buzz, where we explore the most important developments shaping Iraq's economic future. Today's discussion takes a comprehensive look at Iraq's rapidly evolving financial landscape, a landscape defined by reform, resilience, and renewed ambition. From groundbreaking monetary policy changes to transformative banking reforms and economic diversification strategies, Iraq is undergoing a historic shift towards stability, growth, and financial independence for investors, business leaders, policymakers, and citizens alike. Understanding these changes is no longer optional, it is essential. Iraq stands at a pivotal crossroads, and the decisions being made today will shape the nation's economic destiny for decades to come. As Iraq rebuilds and redefines itself, opportunities are emerging across multiple sectors, signaling a future filled with promise and potential. Let us begin with one of the most closely watched developments in Iraq's financial system, an event that has captured the attention of regional and global financial observers alike: the Central Bank of Iraq and a historic currency auction milestone. The Central Bank of Iraq (CBI) recently achieved an extraordinary milestone by selling over $300 million in a single currency auction. These auctions, which involved the sale of US dollars to local banks and financial institutions, have long been a cornerstone of Iraq's monetary framework. Their primary purpose has been to stabilize the Iraqi Dinar, regulate liquidity, and manage foreign exchange demand within the domestic market. For years, dollar auctions have played a critical role in maintaining balance within Iraq's economy, particularly during periods of political instability, conflict, and reconstruction. However, while effective in maintaining short-term stability, these auctions have also reinforced Iraq's reliance on the US dollar, dependency that many policymakers and economists now view as a long-term constraint. Today, winds of change are clearly blowing. Financial analysts, economists, and market insiders are increasingly speculating that the CBI may soon scale back or completely end dollar auctions, potentially before the end of the year and possibly much sooner. Some reports even suggest that such a move could occur within days or weeks, signaling a decisive shift in Iraq's monetary strategy. If confirmed, the conclusion of currency auctions would represent one of the most significant monetary policy changes in Iraq's modern history. Ending dollar auctions, a turning point for the Iraqi dinar. The potential end of dollar auctions is not merely a technical policy adjustment, it represents a fundamental reorientation of Iraq's financial philosophy. For decades, the US dollar has dominated Iraq's economy. While this reliance provided stability during turbulent times, it also limited Iraq's monetary sovereignty. Ending the auctions would signal Iraq's intention to strengthen the Iraqi dinar as a primary medium of exchange, reduce dollarization, and reclaim greater control over its financial system. A stronger, more stable dinar would bring multiple benefits: greater economic independence, improved confidence in domestic financial institutions, reduced exposure to external monetary shocks, enhanced credibility with international investors. This shift would empower Iraq to manage its economy on its own terms rather than relying heavily on external currencies. It would also position the dinar as a symbol of national strength, resilience, and economic maturity. Importantly, such a move reflects growing confidence within the Central Bank of Iraq regarding the nation's financial stability, foreign reserves, and monetary discipline. It suggests that Iraq believes it is ready to stand on firmer economic ground. The evolution of Iraq's banking sector. At the heart of Iraq's economic transformation lies its banking sector, a sector that is undergoing rapid modernization and reform. For many years, Iraq's banking system lagged behind global standards, constrained by outdated infrastructure, limited technology, and public mistrust. Today, that narrative is changing. One of the most significant developments is the imminent launch of Agar Bank, a new financial institution designed to redefine banking in Iraq. This institution aims to provide world-class banking services while embracing modern technology and customer-centric solutions. Our bank, a symbol of modernization. Our bank is expected to introduce a wide range of services, including digital banking platforms, mobile banking applications, personalized financial products, secure online payment systems, small business and microfinancing. By leveraging advanced technology, our bank represents a bold step toward financial inclusion, accessibility, and efficiency. Its mission aligns with Iraq's broader goal of modernizing its financial ecosystem and aligning with international banking standards. standards. This development sends a powerful message to both domestic and international markets. Iraq is serious about reform, innovation and integration into the global financial system. Why a strong banking sector matters. A healthy banking sector is the backbone of any successful economy. When banks function effectively, businesses gain access to credit and capital. Individuals can save, invest, and manage finances securely. Governments can implement development initiatives more efficiently. Foreign investors gain confidence in the financial system. In Iraq, the revitalization of the banking sector has already begun to show tangible results. Banking stocks have become among the most actively traded assets on the Iraqi stock exchange, reflecting growing public trust and investor optimism. This surge in trading activity underscores a renewed belief in Iraq's financial institutions, a critical ingredient for long-term economic stability. Monetary stability, the cornerstone of economic confidence. Monetary stability is not just an abstract economic goal, it is a foundation upon which prosperity is built. Stable currencies allow businesses to plan for the future, governments to implement policies effectively, and investors to deploy capital with confidence. The Central Bank of Iraq has made substantial progress in this area by controlling inflation, stabilizing exchange rates, strengthening regulatory oversight, building foreign currency reserves. These measures have helped protect the value of the Iraqi dinar while creating a more predictable and secure economic environment. Stability in turn fosters innovation, entrepreneurship and job creation, key drivers of sustainable growth. The urgent need for economic diversification. One of Iraq's most pressing economic challenges remains its heavy reliance on oil exports. While oil has long been the backbone of the Iraqi economy, it also exposes the country to global price volatility and geopolitical risks. Recognizing this vulnerability, Iraq has embarked on an ambitious strategy to diversify its economy. Agriculture. Revitalizing a historic sector. Agriculture holds immense potential for Iraq. Revitalizing this sector can enhance food security, create employment opportunities, reduce import dependency, stimulate rural development. Investments in modern farming techniques, irrigation systems and supply chains are helping to breathe new life into this vital industry. Manufacturing and technology. Engines of innovation. Iraq is also investing in manufacturing and technology, two sectors critical for long-term competitiveness. Industrial cities and science parks are being developed to support these industries, creating ecosystems where businesses can collaborate, innovate and grow. These investments are positioning Iraq as a potential regional hub for production and innovation capable of competing beyond its borders. Reducing oil dependency. For long-term sustainability, diversification is not about abandoning oil, it is about ensuring that oil is no longer the sole pillar of economic survival. By expanding into multiple sectors, Iraq is building a more resilient economy capable of withstanding external shocks. This strategy ensures that future generations inherit a diversified, stable and sustainable economic foundation. The rise of the private sector. Another transformative element of Iraq's economic journey is the rapid growth of its private sector. For decades, Iraq operated under a largely centralized economic model. Today, reforms are reshaping that structure. The Iraqi Ministry of Commerce is leading efforts to streamline regulations, simplify business procedures, close gaps and outdated laws, encourage entrepreneurship, attract foreign direct investment. These reforms are designed to foster a dynamic free market economy where innovation and competition thrive. Infrastructure. A catalyst for growth. Infrastructure development is playing a critical role in supporting private sector expansion. Key initiatives include industrial zones, modern transportation networks, improved ports and logistics hubs, advanced telecommunication systems. These projects not only enhance the ease of doing business but also generate employment, stimulate innovation and connect Iraq more effectively to global markets, empowering investors and entrepreneurs. For investors and entrepreneurs, Iraq offers a landscape rich with opportunity, but success requires careful planning and informed decision-making. Working with trusted financial institutions, private wealth managers and legal advisors can help investors navigate this evolving environment. Important considerations include bank fee structures, deposit protection and guarantees, withdrawal limits, regulatory compliance, access to tax and legal expertise. Banks that offer comprehensive financial services including trust funds, asset protection strategies and advisory support can provide significant value to investors seeking long-term growth. Iraq's growing focus on manufacturing and technology represents a strategic shift aimed at building long-term competitiveness and reducing structural weaknesses in the national economy. For decades, limited industrial capacity and underinvestment in research and development constrained productivity and innovation. Today, that paradigm is changing. The government, in coordination with regional authorities and private stakeholders, is investing in industrial cities, special economic zones, and science and technology parks designed to attract both domestic and international firms. These hubs are intended to function as integrated ecosystems where manufacturers, technology startups, research institutions, and service providers can collaborate closely, exchange knowledge, and accelerate innovation. Access to shared infrastructure, streamlined licensing, and proximity to skilled labor creates an environment that lowers operational costs while increasing efficiency. In parallel, Iraq is prioritizing technology transfer through partnership with foreign companies, allowing local firms to adopt modern production methods, automation, and digital tools. This approach not only improves product quality but also enhances workforce skills, creating a new generation of technicians, engineers, and innovators. As manufacturing expands beyond basic production into value-added industries such as pharmaceuticals, construction materials, agri-processing, and light engineering, Iraq's economic profile becomes more diversified and competitive. Over time, these developments are positioning Iraq as a credible regional hub for production and innovation, capable of exporting goods, participating in cross-border supply chains, and competing in markets well beyond its borders. Reducing reliance on oil revenues is one of the most critical objectives shaping Iraq's long-term economic strategy. Oil will remain an essential asset and a major source of national income for the foreseeable future, but dependence on a single commodity has historically exposed the country to severe external shocks. Fluctuations in global oil prices, geopolitical tensions, and shifts in energy demand have repeatedly disrupted public finances and economic planning. Diversification, therefore, is not about abandoning oil but about rebalancing the economy so that growth is supported by multiple resilient pillars. By expanding into manufacturing, agriculture, logistics, tourism, financial services, and technology, Iraq is creating alternative revenue streams that can stabilize government income and employment levels during periods of volatility. This broader economic base also allows for more sustainable fiscal policies, reducing pressure on public spending during downturns. Importantly, diversification supports social stability by creating a wider range of job opportunities, particularly for young people entering the labor market. A more balanced economy encourages private initiative, innovation, and productivity rather than dependence on public sector employment funded by oil revenues. In the long term, this strategy ensures that future generations inherit an economy that is not only resource-rich but also structurally sound, adaptable, and capable of sustainable growth in a rapidly changing global environment. The rapid rise of Iraq's private sector marks a transformative shift away from decades of centralized economic management toward a more open and competitive market system. Historically, state-owned enterprises and public employment dominated economic activity, limiting innovation and efficiency. Today, comprehensive reforms are reshaping that structure and empowering private businesses to become key drivers of growth. The Iraqi Ministry of Commerce, alongside other regulatory bodies, is leading initiatives to streamline regulations, simplify business registration and licensing procedures, and modernize outdated commercial laws that previously hindered entrepreneurship. These reforms are designed to reduce bureaucratic barriers, increase transparency, and build investor confidence. Encouraging entrepreneurship is a central pillar of this effort, with growing support for small and medium-sized enterprises through access to financing, training programs, and market opportunities. At the same time, Iraq is actively working to attract or indirect investment by improving legal protections, offering incentives, and aligning regulations with international standards. A stronger private sector fosters competition, which in turn drives innovation, improves product quality, and lowers costs for consumers. Over time, this transition supports a healthier economic ecosystem where businesses grow based on performance and innovation rather than state support, contributing to sustainable development and long-term prosperity. Infrastructure development is playing a decisive role in enabling Iraq's economic transformation and supporting the expansion of the private sector. Efficient infrastructure is the backbone of modern economies, and Iraq is making significant investments to close long-standing gaps. The development of industrial zones provides businesses with ready access to utilities, transportation links, and shared services, reducing startup costs and operational inefficiencies. Modern transportation networks, including highways, rail links, and airports, are improving domestic connectivity while strengthening Iraq's role as a regional trade corridor. Enhanced ports and logistics hubs are particularly important for facilitating exports and imports, reducing delays and integrating Iraqi businesses into global supply chains. In addition, advances in telecommunications and digital infrastructure are enabling faster communication, e-commerce, and the adoption of digital business models. These improvements not only make it easier to do business but also increase productivity across multiple sectors. Infrastructure projects generate immediate employment during construction and create long-term economic benefits by attracting investment and supporting industrial activity. By improving connectivity, reliability, and efficiency, infrastructure development acts as a powerful catalyst for growth, helping Iraq unlock its economic potential and compete more effectively in regional and global markets. For investors and entrepreneurs, Iraq presents a landscape filled with opportunity, but realizing that potential requires careful planning, due diligence, and informed decision-making. The evolving regulatory and financial environment offers attractive prospects, yet it also demands a clear understanding of local conditions. Working with trusted financial institutions, private wealth managers, and experienced legal advisors can significantly reduce risk and improve outcomes. Key considerations for investors include understanding bank fee structures, evaluating deposit protection mechanisms, and being aware of withdrawal limits and currency regulations. Compliance with local laws and reporting requirements is essential, particularly for foreign investors navigating unfamiliar legal frameworks. Access to reliable tax advice helps businesses structure operations efficiently while avoiding unexpected liabilities. Banks that offer comprehensive financial services such as trust funds, asset protection strategies, and long-term advisor wise support provide added value by helping investors align financial planning with broader business objectives. For entrepreneurs, access to tailored financial products and strategic guidance can be the difference between short-term success and sustainable growth. As Iraq's economy continues to open and mature, informed investors and entrepreneurs who approach the market with preparation and professional support are well positioned to benefit from its long-term growth trajectory. Public-private partnerships driving innovation. Public-private partnerships (PPPs) are emerging as a powerful mechanism for accelerating economic development by combining government support with private sector expertise. PPPs are helping to fund infrastructure projects, expand essential services, encourage innovation, reduce financial risk. These partnerships represent a collaborative approach to growth, one that aligns public interest with private efficiency. Iraq's vision for the future. Iraq's economic journey is far from complete, but the progress achieved thus far is undeniable. Each reform, investment, and policy shift brings the nation closer to a future defined by stability, prosperity, and opportunity. From strengthening the Iraqi dinar and modernizing the banking sector to diversifying the economy and empowering the private sector, Iraq is laying the groundwork for long-term success. For investors with vision, patience, and strategic insight, Iraq represents not just opportunity but transformation. A nation of promise, Iraq is no longer defined solely by its past challenges. Today it stands as a nation rebuilding, reforming, and reimagining its future. The economic transformation underway reflects resilience, determination, and a commitment to progress. Iraq is not just a place of potential, it is a place of promise. Thank you for joining us on Iraqi Dinar Info. If you found today's discussion valuable, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay connected for the latest updates on Iraq's economy, the Iraqi dinar, and the opportunities ahead. Together, let us continue exploring the future of this remarkable nation. Public-private partnerships (PPPs) are increasingly recognized as a cornerstone of modern economic development, particularly in countries seeking to accelerate growth while managing limited public resources. At their core, PPPs represent a strategic collaboration between government institutions and private sector entities, combining public oversight and long-term national objectives with private efficiency, innovation, and technical expertise. Through these partnerships, governments are able to fund and deliver large-scale infrastructure projects such as transportation networks, energy facilities, housing developments, and digital systems that might otherwise be delayed due to budget constraints. At the same time, PPPs help expand essential services including healthcare, education, water management, and telecommunications, ensuring that citizens benefit directly from improved quality and accessibility. One of the most important advantages of PPPs is their ability to encourage innovation, as private companies are incentivized to introduce advanced technologies, modern management practices, and cost-effective solutions that improve overall project performance. Additionally, PPPs reduce financial risk for governments by sharing costs, responsibilities, and operational risks with private partners, creating a more sustainable model for long-term development in emerging and transitioning economies. PPPs also send a powerful signal to global investors, demonstrating institutional readiness, policy stability, and openness to collaboration. When structured transparently and governed effectively, public-private partnerships become more than financing tools. They evolve into engines of inclusive growth, job creation, and economic resilience that can reshape a nation's development trajectory for decades to come. Iraq's economic journey is far from complete, yet the progress achieved in recent years reflects a nation steadily reclaiming control over its economic destiny. After decades of conflict, instability, and underinvestment, Iraq has embarked on a path of reform aimed at restoring confidence, strengthening institutions, and laying the foundation for sustainable growth. Each reform, investment initiative, and policy adjustment, whether in fiscal management, monetary stability, or regulatory modernization, moves the country closer to a future defined by stability, prosperity, and opportunity. Efforts to strengthen the Iraqi Dinar and modernize the banking sector are improving financial transparency, expanding access to credit, and integrating Iraq more deeply into regional and global markets. At the same time, economic diversification remains a central priority as leaders work to reduce reliance on oil revenues by developing agriculture, manufacturing, logistics, tourism, and technology-driven sectors. Empowering the private sector is another critical pillar of Iraq's vision, as small and medium-sized enterprises are increasingly recognized as engines of employment, innovation, and local economic resilience for investors with vision. Disclaimer: the information provided is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. While efforts are made to ensure accuracy, no guarantees are made regarding completeness, reliability, or suitability for any purpose. Any reliance you place on this information is strictly at your own risk. The author and owner shall not be held liable for any losses or damages arising from the use of this information.